Hey everybody, welcome back to Ed Gasket. For those who are new to the channel, my name is Ed, and today we're headed back to our old workshop to pick up a build we haven't seen in over a year. Now this was our first build and the reason we started this YouTube channel, and it has become without a doubt our most popular project to date. So without wasting any more time, let's head back to our old workshop and reintroduce our one-of-a-kind restoration. All right, here goes nothing. For those of you who have been here from the beginning, this workshop should look a little familiar to you, although it looks a little smaller and messier than I remember. There's our project right there, but rather than film in this style, what do you say we load up our project and I'll meet you back in the garage. Front tire's flat. How does that happen? I haven't even ridden it yet. All right, everybody, we are unloaded and back in the garage. It's officially time to welcome our 1985 Honda ATC 110 three-wheeler back to the channel. Now, rather than list 4 or 5 sad excuses as to why I haven't been working on this machine over the last year, what do you say we skip all that and get right to work? First thing we're going to address here is this flat front tire, because this is making it really difficult to transport the machine around the shop. And I don't know why this is flat, because there's a tube inside of this tire. So what do you say we split this wheel open and replace that tube? Well, you don't have to be a mechanic to know that anything that's supposed to be airtight, like a tire, should not have a gaping hole in it. Just kidding, I made that hole to get it out. The hole that caused us our problem is right next to the valve. Right there. So, out with the old, in with the new. This looks massive. Well, that wasn't too bad. So I'm going to hold off on mounting this tire back on the machine because I want to take advantage of the position that the three-wheeler's in and actually do a little bit of motor work for a moment. So last summer I was rebuilding this motor with all brand new parts, and when I was finished I installed a spark plug that was for the wrong machine. That spark plug was just a little bit too long, and when I went to turn over the engine I actually bent an exhaust valve, meaning that this motor right now has zero compression and is completely useless to us. So while I have it in this position, let's pop the head off and swap out that exhaust valve. So it was actually the intake valve and not the exhaust valve that was causing us to have low compression because it was bent. But we have a new one in house, so let's get this machine reassembled and get this up and running.
from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. There goes a sight from my soul. I think a falling angel just walked by. I think a falling angel just walked by. I think a falling angel just walked by.
Guys, for the first time ever, this is a complete rolling chassis with a motor installed that has compression spark and, as you just saw, an airbox with a carburetor. So this thing is completely ready to run. All we have to do is add that fuel tank. But before we do that, let's get back on the front end of the machine and add some more controls. So this build is full of really hard to find parts, but there are a select few items that I think really separate this build from many others. This complete brake lever system is definitely one of those components. If you look hard enough and you're willing to pay enough money, you can find almost anything for these machines. But this here is super hard to find, and I'm really excited to get it finally mounted on our machine. Guys, we have a bunch of parts coming in the mail, ideally today or tomorrow, to get this thing up and running. So if you want to tag along and watch this three-wheeler come to life, be sure to subscribe to Ed Gasket and check out some other builds taking place in the shop. If you want some updates on this machine before that next video, you're going to have to hit up Ed Gasket Garage on Instagram. Otherwise, guys, if you need us between now and that next video, we'll be in the garage.